Good afternoon all. Welcome to the webinar session on basic GST transactions that has been released in RC 99.6. The webinar will begin shortly, but before that, make sure you are connected to the webinar, and if you are connected through your phone, please double tap to zoom and have a clear picture of the presentation. If you want to raise any question, please click on the question mark available in your screen so that you can type your queries and send us. We will be replying to all the queries that you post. The webinar will begin shortly. Good afternoon to one and all present. So I hope all of you have attended the previous webinars and you are ready for GST. So I continue this webinar with the belief that you have already updated to RC 99.5 version and have given all the necessary details in the masters. If you did miss any of the thing, you can always check out our previous webinars and our self-help videos in our YouTube channel. Today, I will be taking a webinar on the practice mode and basic transactions. So right from the GST, all the questions that were being posted are, can I practice in GST? How will I know what and how it will be in GST to make a sales bill or a purchase bill? Don't worry, GoFrugal has a solution for you because we care for you. We have created a practice mode without affecting your live data. So once you have updated to RC 99.6, you can create a practice database with your live data and have a separate login as a practice login. And once you log in to your practice login and make any transactions, it will not affect your live database. You can continuously be billing in VAT in your normal login. At the same time, you can also get trained using a practice login. So let me start with what are the highlights of RC 99.6 release. As I said, we have released practice mode in 99.6. We have been receiving many queries from customers as on to train their staffs who are not that educated. So the proprietors of all the retail stores have been giving requests to have a practice database or some way to practice on the GST data so that they can know how their billing will be in GST and how it is going to be reflected in their track. We have also given a practice transaction summary reports, as in whatever transactions you are making in your practice login, everything you can track using the report. For example, if I have made a sales of ₹1000 and a purchase of 5000 in one login, practice login, I can get the same using my practice transaction summary reports. It also helps you to train your new employees by paving way for them to experience and explore the product features. You can also have this for any options, not only GST, whatever you feel like practicing in software, you can do the same in our practice login. And also, as per the request of some customers, we have given some basic transactions like sales and purchase, their print profiles. So once you make a bill in practice transactions, you can also view how the print profile of that bill would be. If you make a sales bill, you can have a preview of how the profile would be and make sure that it is best suited for your business. So the preview will be opened after a transaction is saved in the practice mode. You cannot print or export the print bill to avoid hassles. So let me guide you how to create a practice environment. First of all, you need to apply RC 99.6 version of our RPOS7. So once you apply the service pack, you will be having a menu under tools, configuration, practice mode creation. So the creation of practice database would take around 10 to 15 minutes because it is going to duplicate your exact database. But don't worry, it won't occupy much of your SQL or your hard disk space. We are just going to import our masters and it will consume very minimal data. Please make a note that the practice database creation is allowed only in server. However, you can log in all the clients and have a practice. You can practice and ask your staff to practice in the practice login from any of your clients. But make sure the creation should be only in server so that the client can access the server and the practice database. Practice as much as possible to have a confident GST start. Once we practice, we gain the confidence that is much needed for success. So this practicing may be a warm up when you succeed one day. When you win one day, this would be your warm-up. So there is no success by practice, but without practice there is no success. Let me show you how to create a practice environment. I have already created in my system since it takes time. It will take around 10 to 15 minutes if depending on your master's size. So in your tools, under configuration, you will be having a practice mode creation. Once you click that, it will display a message to close all your clients because database comes into play. If you wish to proceed and click yes, a practice environment will be created and the application will be restarted. As in, you will get a message like practice environment has been successfully created, the username and the password. So by default, the username will be practice admin and the password is admin. Once you log in, the practice database connection will be in progress. Since we are creating a separate database for practice, we have also given a separate wallpaper so that you can have a confident. For example, if you are practicing and you left for 5 minutes, some other staff in your shop should not bill in that. So we have changed a separate theme and a separate wallpaper for practice user mode alone, so that by mistake also you won't be doing any transactions in this login. So once practice database is created, it will be having all your masters, what you have created already in your live database. You can view the same in all the masters. It is important that for items you have to put a opening stock entry so that you can make transactions. Don't worry, we have created a YouTube help video and tada, your new chapter 2 of RPOS7 basic transactions playlist has been released today. So hope you have all watched the chapter 1 of basic masters updation in your RPOS7 RC99.5. With RC99.6 release with major enhancements and changes related to GST, we have created a separate playlist for the transactions alone. You can access them through your My GoFrugal app and our YouTube channel. I'll show you where the video playlist is. So go to YouTube, search for GoFrugal, open our channel, and in the playlist you will be finding all the products videos, and here is the chapter 1 basic transaction, and here is the chapter 2 of sales purchase transactions. You will be having a video of 10 links, out of which the first step will be an introduction from our expert Mr. Rajkumar, and in the second step he would have guided to create a practice environment. So in the second video we will be creating a practice environment. Please watch this video before you create a practice environment in your machine so that you can complete it without any mishaps. So once you click on create practice environment, we will pop up a message. This will take 5 to 10 minutes based on your import process. So we request you to do it in your non-business hours. It is similar to batch updation with a very minimal amount of time. Once the practice environment is created, you will be getting a message like this, and the application will be automatically restarted. Please watch this video to have a clear idea. So the transactions that you can do in your practice environment include sales, sales order, sales return, purchase, purchase order, receipt note, delivery note return, reorder, opening stock entry, and much more. Please have a look at 99.6 release notes to get the detailed changes and enhancements that has been done in the version. Let me explain you the purchase and purchase order. So the purchase formula specified by the government will be given as a default formula. Till now you would be having many taxes like excise duty and CST percent and different taxes for different distributors across India. Now the government has decided there will be only one GST across India, and the purchase formula has already been set by the government. That has been defaultly created by GoFrugal and given to you in the version 99.6. Once you switch to GST, only that formula will be applied, and you no need to worry. We have also given a provision to create custom formulas, but we are very sure that there won't be any creation of custom formulas, as everyone will be following GST from July 1. And the purchase will be based on distributor location type. As you all know, there are 4 types of distributors. The distributor may be local, the distributor may be from other state within India, the distributor may be from other country, in which case we will be importing their goods, and some distributors may not even be registered with the government. So if the distributor is local within the state, the GST percentage will be divided into 2 as state GST and central GST. Listen carefully, the same GST which is of 18 or 12%, within that there will be partition as state GST and central GST. If the distributor is out of our state, and that is if he is interstate, the GST that will be calculated is IGST. In this case, there won't be any central and state difference, but only a single tax IGST. In case of import also, the same IGST will be calculated. For unregistered distributors, tax will be exempted. That is, excuse me, and for unregistered dealers, the tax will not be calculated. Similarly, in sales there will be transactions, but before that, due to few attendees request, I'll be showing you how it will be posted in track. In your supply distributor master, make sure you have given correct location type for every distributor. In your distributor master, for a particular distributor, under GST type, the location is local. For this distributor Raj & Co, let us make a purchase. So I have made a purchase for Raj & Co with an item which has 18% tax exclusive from the purchase rate. I will be saving this. Let us see how this gets splitted into CGST and SGST. Since this distributor is local, the CGST and SGST will be displayed. You can verify the distributor type here. So let's make a next purchase of another distributor, and together we can monitor the same in track. For this distributor, it is unregistered. The location type is unregistered, which means tax will not be calculated. Let us have another distributor who will be an interstate. So this distributor we have mapped as interstate and the state is other than of ours. Let us make a purchase for the same and check the posting in track. So you can also monitor the transaction reports in POS itself. Press on Alt G to open our search bar. Search for practice so that you can get the practice transaction summary. The report path will be specified in our menu path. Once you open that report, you can give the date filters and load it. So today we have made a purchase of 118 rupees. Two purchases has been made of 118 rupees each. Let's check the track posting of the same. In track, as you all know, there will be daily reports and you can monitor the same in daybook. Today I have made a purchase for Raj & Co 118 rupees. So out of the 18 rupees tax, 9% CGST has been posted and for SGST 9% has been posted. For the same amount, same items, if the distributor is interstate, the total tax is going into IGST 18% input credit. Before this webinar, I have also made a purchase for non-taxable purchase, which means the distributor is not registered with the government. So in that case, tax will not be calculated. Hope you all are clear with the process in purchase. If you have any doubts, you can post your queries by clicking on question mark. The videos have been prepared for the same in the same playlist that I showed you before. So after practice data cleanup, the first step would be of purchase formula and purchase of different types of distributors. So moving on to sales. Sales are categorized into two types. Sale may differ based on customer type as well as customer location. Both are two different categories. So if the sale is based on customer type, there are three differentiations. As you all know, a retail invoice, who will be a regular walk-in customer to our shop. For him, we don't need any detail unless his bill value is less than 2.5 lakhs. Once his net bill value increases more than 2.5 lakhs, The PAN number and Aadhaar number is mandatory. And moving to next type of customer, the tax invoice. Tax invoice customers are those who are TIN number registered. For example, one trader would be selling to another trader and he will be selling to end user. In that case, the GST number of that customer is mandatory. And there might be some customers like non-profit organizations and also NGOs who will be exempted from tax. In that case, the customer type will be bill of supply and the Regulation Act must be given in the customer master itself. Moving on to customer location type, the same as distributor. The customer's location may be local, interstate and export. If I sell to a local customer, as shown before, the tax will be split into state GST and central GST. In case of interstate customer, the sales tax would be just IGST. In case of export, that is my customer is living across India other than India, the tax will be exempted. So SGST, CGST and IGST will be separately posted in accounts. Let us have a view for the same. In customer master, the customer type here you can mention. So the customer type may either be retail invoice, tax invoice or bill of supply. If you have given bill of supply, the bill of supply description is mandatory. Let's have a bill of retail invoice whose bill value is more than 2.5 lakhs. So in this case, the bill value is more than 3 lakhs and the customer I have chosen is a retail invoice customer. That is, the customer belongs, it's just like a walk-in customer. Since as we have seen in the customer master, we have given a GST number and Aadhaar number details for the same customer. PAN number has been already given. So let's try it for a different customer and check whether the application allows to make a bill. Take Mr. Abdullah, who is a retail customer, and GST, PAN number, Aadhaar number, nothing is filled. Let's make a new bill for Mr. Abdullah. Once the bill value is more than 2.5 lakhs, we would be prompted for a notification where the customer PAN or Aadhaar number is mandatory, because in B2C, once the limit is 2.5 lakhs and above, it would be mandatory to have either of the one. So if I am having Aadhaar, I can click Aadhaar here and enter the number. Once we click OK, it will automatically get saved in our customer master, so that for future transactions we won't need to be entered again and again. Now the invoice has been saved. Let's check the customer master whether the Aadhaar number is updated for Mr. Abdullah. As you all can see, the Aadhaar number that I have entered during sales has been updated. Moving on to second type of sales, where the sale will be based on customer location. So let us have Mr. Raj, whose location is local. I have made a sales for Raj, and the next customer would be an interstate customer who has been given a bill of supply of customer type. So don't confuse the customer type and customer location. The tax posting would be entirely dependent on customer location, that is local, interstate and import. So this Mr. Nandu customer is an interstate customer. So if I make a bill for Mr. Nandu, it should be splitted only as IGST and not SGST, CGST. For another customer whose type is export, if we make a sale, tax should not be calculated. Let's monitor the same and check how it has been reflected in the track. Again, go to track, reports, daily reports and day book. You can check the sales that we have made now. So the first one is of 3 lakh rupees, where we got the Aadhaar number of the customer. This sales, which is a local sale, it has been splitted into CGST 9% and SGST 9%. And for interstate sales, the GST has been calculated as 18% alone. For the IGST is not calculating because for that Nandu customer, we have given bill of supply as customer type, wherein the tax will not be calculated. So you can confidently approach once you have given the masters perfectly. Let's create a new customer and of interstate and make a bill to see the IGST posting. I have created a customer and the location type as interstate. So you can check the same. Mr. Imtiaz is an interstate customer. Once you make a bill in track, you can monitor the same in the day book. So once you open the day book, the last bill that I had made is of interstate 18% and IGST of 18% has been posted. Hope you all have got a clear idea of how the purchase and sale posting would be once the GST has been implemented. So keep practicing until you are confident that you can tackle GST and become successful in your career. Whatever the transactions that you are making in your practice mode can also be accessed through practice transaction summary reports from your normal admin login. So no need to worry of any mishaps where your staffs misuse the practice login and be collecting money from the customer in a wrongful way. You can monitor the same from normal admin login using the practice transaction summary report, the total amount of sales and purchase that has been done in your practice login. So moving on to sales return, once GST is implemented and to claim the input credit for GST while getting returns, the bill number is mandatory for sales return. So this will lead to a problem where you won't be able to receive an item in a sales bill screen. For returns, you should use only the sales return menu, and the bill number selection is mandatory. For example, you may worry that a single customer may come with multiple bills and return two products from two different bills. So as long as the customer is unique, no need to worry, you can make multiple bill selections and make a single sales return. So sales return from sales screen will not be possible. Moving on to GST reports. In 99.6 itself, we have released few reports. That is, we have reframed and enhanced few reports with GST related columns, so that once the GST is rolled out, you can check your data with every detail. The details of reports include sales register summary with bill numbers, purchase item wise VAT register, purchase VAT summary, sales VAT summary, purchase return item wise VAT register, returns to supplier summary, sales register, C-form register, sales register, and date wise. The detail of all these reports will be available in RC 99.6 release notes. You can make a note of it and access the same using your practice admin also. Once you make any bill in your practice admin, you can check how the reports would be by opening any of these reports. Let's check how we can check reports of the bills and purchases that we have made now. In your RPOS, click on the search bar, type for sales register date wise. This report has been enhanced with GST related columns. Once you open the report, you will be getting the sales register date wise with the GST amount, GST related columns. For example, the SGST posting, CGST posting, and IGST posting to be separate. The same can be followed in case of purchase also. It would be really better if you access all the menus through the search bar of application. Moving on to the question part. You can click on that question mark available in your webinar and post all your questions. We will be happy to answer them. Miss Indumati has asked how to do a sale return. So let me show you how to do a sales return once GST is rolled out. Go to sales return. Once you go to sales return, in this bill number, the tab will be automatically present. Click on enter to load the bill. For example, I have made a bill for Mr. Imtiaz. Once you click on that, the item may be loaded here. If there are multiple items, you can also delete few items and save it. So once I click on save, we can either have a cash, credit sale or RRN as usual. Once I have saved, the sale return entry will be successful. You have to note that we also have a sale return function key here, but this will not be working if the GST has been rolled out. If you click here, you will be getting a clear message stating that we have enabled GST, so we can't do return in sales. Please try in sales return screen. Once you go to sales screen, as I showed, the bill number selection is mandatory. Post all your questions. We are happy to answer them. Ms. Indumati and Mr. Debapriya has asked that how to do a sales return in case if the customer exchanges the goods. So you have to follow the same policy. Go to sales, sales return, select the bill. I have selected Shivam here, and while saving, you will be given 3 options in tender. Once you click on RRN, once you save on RRN, the same can be adjusted in your sales bill. I have saved this sales return for Mr. Shivam in RRN type, so that the next time I make a bill for Mr. Shivam, I can adjust the amount instead of using any tender type. Here you will be having RRN, where if you click, the sales return number will be displayed and you can enter the RRN number here. If you want to adjust, type the exact adjusted amount in adjust amount so that the same can be adjusted without disturbing the cash, credit card or any other tender types. I have saved. So this would be similar to a sales return and an exchange sales customer, where the customer would be exchanging an item in a single day. So again, Ms. Devapriya is asking whether the customer selection is mandatory. No, the customer selection is not mandatory unless we make a bill of less than 2.5 lakhs. The customer selection is also not mandatory when we exchange. You can follow the same process of sale return and sale even without choosing the customer. Mr. Syed Kazim has asked whether it is possible to make bills inclusive and exclusive of GST. Yes, Mr. Kazim, the normal process would be the same. You will be having a tax inclusive exclusive function key in the transaction screen. So the amount can either be inclusive or as well as exclusive. As you can see in the purchase I made of ₹100, the tax was exclusive and the net bill amount was 118 rupees. Mr. Sanjay Amarnani has asked whether it can have a common field where, because distributors are all interstate. In that case, Mr. Sanjay, you can use the bulk update feature and mark all the distributor as interstate, so that the bill calculated will be, the tax will be split into IGST. The bulk update feature can be used to make all the suppliers as interstate suppliers. Mr. Tushar has asked whether all the clients should be closed when we are working on the practice mode. No, Mr. Tushar, only by creating the practice environment, the client should be closed. So once the practice environment has been created, you can log in any of the system, even clients, including server, with the login credentials as username, practice admin, and password admin. Once the database has been created, it is not required to close all the machines. Mr. Syed Kazim has asked, in case of exchange, what will happen if the customer buys something less than the RRN value? So, as you see, in the RRN, we have given a field for adjust amount. If the RRN remaining for the customer is 26 and the customer buys for 20 alone, you can adjust just rupees 20 and save a bill. In future, if the same customer comes again, the same sale return will be displayed with balance as rupees 6. Mr. Kiran has asked about customizations in bill prefix. This will be decided in GoFrugal once the government finalizes the terms and conditions. As of now, the bill series for tax invoice, retail invoice, and bill of supply will be separate. This is what the government has specified in their norms. So these three types of invoices will have a separate bill series. So we are being again asked queries regarding the posting in track. This is why we have given practice mode to check on your live database. Do as much as entries as possible, as much as different transactions that is possible, and check the entry in daybook and how the tax is being splitted into IGST, CGST, and SGST. Since whatever transactions you are making in practice will not affect your live database, you can confidently practice for the next 1 week. Jagadish Medical Stores has asked that whether the GST switch will be done, or can be these master updations can be done after July. We have repeatedly insisting from the beginning to update all your masters before July 1, so that in our last release of GST, we would be giving a GST switch using which you can change your VAT structure to GST structure. So without master updations or any GST related data in your masters, if you switch to GST, it would be a problem for you in future. You will be having to update all the masters later after the GST has been rolled out. it is better to be as early as possible to ensure smooth GST transitions. We recommend you to check all our previous YouTube videos and the webinar videos that are available in our channel to make sure you have done all the master changes before the GST rollout. Mr. Brijesh has asked, while doing sales return, if the customer is not having bill. Mr. Brijesh, as per common business policies, the bill number will be mandatory. So the bill number is enough to make a return entry. The customer need not have a physical bill. But without the bill number, it will not be possible to make a sale return entry once GST is rolled out. Mr. Umang Shah has asked that whether the posting will be different if the tender type is different. No, Mr. Umang, whatever be the tender type, as in credit card or credit sale or even loyalty, the posting will be same as usual. This posting will be dependent only on the customer's location, as in local, interstate and export customers. Mr. Hiran Patel has asked how to make discounts in bills. So, be it either sales or purchase, the discount will be the same usual process. Once you make a sales bill, you will be having a cash discount function key in case of sales bill, and in case of purchase, you can give the discount value in the header section for the purchase. The GST will not have effect on discount posting. The tax will be calculated after discount as per the default purchase formula. Mr. Yuvraj Ramesh has asked, if a customer buys for more than 10 to 15 lakhs in 1 month, is it mandatory to have PAN or Aadhaar? No, Mr. Yuvraj, as of now, the government has told us that only if a bill value, a single bill value, a single transaction value is greater than 2.5 lakhs means you will be having to update the PAN or Aadhaar. The cumulative for 1 month may be any value. Even if the government changes the threshold value in future, we will be immediately incorporating those changes in the immediate release following. Mr. Sanjay has asked about the GST return filings. So, GoFrugal as a GST Suvidha provider will be providing you a portal through which you can log in and file your returns. But as of now, the government will be releasing their API for the portal only on 29th June. So that once they release the API, our development team here will take around 1 to 2 months to develop the portal. But don't worry, we will be guiding you how to update the GST returns into the GSTN directly without portal. The government has given us a relaxation for all the customers, retailers of India to file their July and August returns until September. There won't be a time deadline until this GST is settled. Hiran Patel has asked whether he can sell at different rates for different types of customer. Yes, Mr. Hiran, there is already a price level option available in the software. You can use the practice mode to check out the same. Miss Indumati has asked for YouTube help videos. So, the common information to all the attendees, please install My GoFrugal app. It is available at free of cost from our Play Store. Just take out your Android mobiles, go to the Play Store, download My GoFrugal app and give your basic details like name, email ID and mobile number. Once you give those, since all of your valuable data is available with us, we will automatically connect with the store, and in the app you will be provided with an option to chat with us as well as a video tab to check out all the help videos that we have released till date. Please install My GoFrugal app as soon as possible. Again, we have been receiving requests to explain the type of customers. As said before, the type of customer will be retail invoice, tax invoice, and bill of supply. In retail invoice, the customers include the regular walk-in customers. So, the regular walk-in customers need not have a TIN number or GSTN number with them. So, retail invoice is a regular walk-in customer invoice, and in case of tax invoice, a TIN number or GST number is mandatory for the customer. In case of bill of supply, the bill of supply description, as in the act under which they are exempted, should be specified. Only three types of customer, and these three will be reflecting only in bill series, but definitely not in track posting unless they are exempted from tax. We are also receiving requests as in how to do all the other transactions like receipt note, delivery note, purchase return, etc. Please stay connected with us. We will be conducting webinar on those two as soon as possible. The next webinar is on Monday. The same session will be conducted in Hindi with the latest enhancements, and latest announcements by the government will be specified in the same webinar. On Tuesday, we are planning to conduct the next webinar for other remaining transactions. Please subscribe to all our future webinars, attend all these, and stay updated regarding the GST rollout. Wrapping up to the final minutes of webinars, please post most questions as soon as possible. Let me also guide you. We have successfully taken our second step in GST journey. That is, once you have updated RC 99.6 and have practiced few transactions, you are just one step away from the glorious GST. We are afraid that as the GST is nearing, we won't be able to service each one of you in person. In a normal day, there will be 40 to 50 engagements for a support executive with customers all over the world. But for the past few days, we are facing around 100 to 120 engagements per executive with customers. That is why we are digitally equipping all the tools available like desktop notification, self-help videos, these kind of GoFrugal webinars, My GoFrugal notifications, this practice mode, and the GST GoFrugal helpline will be launched as soon as possible. We request all the customers to switch into group mode and get service along with a group so that you can also get your doubts clarified and also get to know the business process of other distributors and in various dimensions and various thoughts. Please use all the digital tools available with GoFrugal. Once you are digitally ready with GoFrugal, you are already ready for GST. Please post all your questions as soon as possible as we are nearing the final minute of this webinar. Mr. Dilli Babu has asked whether the VAT columns will be available even after GST switch. Yes, Mr. Dilli Babu, all the reports will be available with GST as well as VAT. Till July 1 or till your GST switch, all the transactions you would have done only in VAT. After GST switch, the transactions will be in GST. You can access both the details in a single report as we have VAT as well as GST columns in a single report. Mr. Vineet Yadav has posted question on GST tax on purchase on MRP. So only if the purchase or if the tax of an item is on MRP, you will be having to give the abatement percentage. For example, if an item is of 100 rupees MRP, the selling price may be 80 or even 90. But if the tax is on MRP and the MRP abatement is 60 percentage, for example, whatever price he sells at, even the selling price may be 70, maybe 80, but the retailer has to pay the tax for 60% of rupees 100, that is rupees 60. For the abatement percentage, tax sub, tax submission is must. Let me be clear once again. When the tax is calculated on MRP, the abatement percentage will be specified in the item master itself. So, irrespective of the selling price, the percentage of abatement on MRP, the tax will be calculated on the same. If 60% is the abatement of rupees 100 MRP, tax will definitely be calculated for 60 rupees. Mr. Bridges has asked whether this My GoFrugal app is available in iOS. Yes, Mr. Bridges, it is also available in iOS and the UI will be more interactive. Please download and experience it yourself. Ms. Indumati has asked whether they can sell the products on MRP. As informed in my item master, you will be having fields like tax is calculated on selling price or on MRP. If you have specified the tax is on MRP, you will be having to give abatement percentage. We are receiving appreciations for our video. Thank you all customers, and we are hoping forward to look at you on our future webinars. Please register for our future webinars as well, so that in that we will be highlighting the print profile related changes as well as the remaining transactions as a part of GST. Please spread the word to your fellow customers using GoFrugal, so that they can also be benefited using these webinars. Jagadish Medical Stores is asking whether the GST tax percentage are available, and all the taxes that are specified by the government till date, like GST 0, GST exempted, GST 5%, GST 12%, GST 18%, GST 28%, GST 28% cess, etc. And all the taxes that has been specified by the government is already released in our product. Please check. Even if the government releases a new tax structure like VAT 4%, GST 4% in future, it will also be immediately incorporated in your GoFrugal application. We are getting requests of our next version release. Stay updated in your application. RC 99.7 is on its way. It will be released by today evening, and you can update the same tomorrow in your GoFrugal application. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Let us meet up in our future upcoming webinars. Please subscribe to all our webinars, as we repeatedly keep requesting you to switch to group mode instead of one-to-one communication. We are afraid that our customers should not feel that they are not able to reach us at any point of time. We have given all the digital tools that are available with us to you, so that you can make use of it and ensure your smooth GST transition. Thank you all once again.